Cold Calling Scripts, 10 templates for B2B success. Cold calling isn't dead. Weak scripts are. Cold calling gets pronounced dead constantly, but the teams building pipeline in 2025 know the truth. The channel still works, it's just unforgiving. With average B2B cold calling success rates around 2.3%, you don't get many second chances once someone picks up. Your first 30 seconds either earns curiosity or ends the call. The encouraging part is that average isn't the ceiling. Top teams routinely hit 5 to 8% plus cold call to meeting conversion by tightening targeting, using better talk tracks, and coaching relentlessly. In other words, the gap is controllable if you treat scripts as a performance system, not a one-time writing exercise. In this guide, we'll break down what makes B2B cold calling scripts convert, share 10 practical templates you can adapt by persona, and show how we recommend operationalizing this inside an SDR org or through a cold calling agency. Whether you're building internally, exploring sales outsourcing, or comparing cold calling services, the goal is the same: turn more live conversations into qualified meetings. The 2025 Cold Calling Math and Why Scripts Matter More Than Ever. Cold calling is a low percentage game, so small gains compound fast. If you move from 2% to 5% dialed a meeting, you more than double meetings from the same list, the same dial time, and the same head count. That's why scripts matter. They're one of the few levers you can pull that reliably improves outcomes without buying more data or hiring more reps. Benchmarks also explain why winging it is expensive. Quality connect rates are often only 8 to 15%, so every live answer is a scarce asset you paid for in tools, data, and rep time. A strong script protects that asset by standardizing what works: opener, relevance, discovery, close, while still leaving room for a human conversation. Use the table below to align your expectations and set realistic coaching targets. The teams that outperform don't magically dial more, they win more often when someone actually answers, which is exactly what a disciplined script library enables. A high-converting B2B script is a framework, not a monologue. The best B2B cold calling scripts have a clear flow: a pattern interrupt opener, a quick permission check, a relevance hook, one strong discovery question, lightweight proof, and a low-friction close. That structure keeps reps from rambling, feature dumping, or getting dragged into a product pitch before the prospect has any reason to care. When your SDRs internalize the flow, they sound confident, not rehearsed. Your opening line does more work than most teams realize. Gong has reported a 6.6x improvement associated with the right opener, and their data also warns against the reflexive "did I catch you at a bad time?" because it reduces meeting rates. The practical takeaway is simple: open like a real person, earn permission, and then get specific about why you called. Relevance is the multiplier. A lightweight 3x3 research habit, 3 minutes to find 3 useful facts about the person, company, and trigger, has been cited as improving conversion by up to 82%. In our experience, this is the difference between another vendor and someone who understands my world, which is exactly what modern buyers respond to. 10 cold calling script templates you can deploy by persona. Most teams fail at scripting because they write one generic pitch for everyone. Instead, build a small library of 3 to 5 persona-specific variations, for example, VP Sales, RevOps, and CFO, that share the same structure but swap the problem statement, proof, and discovery questions. This is how you get consistency without making reps sound robotic. Below are 10 templates we see work across B2B cold calling services, internal SDR teams, and outsourced sales team models. Treat these as talk tracks you customize, not word-for-word speeches. Then coach the first 30 seconds hard until it's natural. The win condition is that your rep can deliver the opener, relevance hook, and first question cleanly under pressure. If you want the fastest rollout, assign templates by scenario: net new, trigger, referral, competitor swap, breakup, etc. Log which one was used in your CRM and review outcomes weekly. That instrumentation is what turns "we think it's working" into a repeatable outbound sales agency playbook. A great cold call script doesn't make reps sound scripted, it makes them sound prepared. Execution habits that make the templates work in real life. Scripts don't win by themselves. Cadence and focus matter. We recommend structured calling blocks during peak connect windows, especially 8 to 9 a.m. and 4 to 5 p.m. in the prospect's time zone, protected from internal meetings and admin work. When reps defend those windows, you get cleaner activity data and fewer busy work days that look productive but don't create pipeline. For Tier 1 accounts, add the 3x3 research habit and require the rep to use at least one insight in the first 2 sentences. This prevents the most common generic opener mistake and directly addresses what many stats summarize: a huge share of failures come from poor preparation. Even in sales outsourcing models, this discipline is the difference between a telemarketing feel and a consultative B2B sales agency approach. Finally, standardize your voicemail and follow-up email so the prospect hears and sees the same hook, outcome, and CTA. A simple, "I just left you a voicemail, 2 lines below on why I called, are you open to 20 minutes next week?" creates consistency and recall. The best teams treat this as one integrated motion, not separate tasks across a dialer and a cold email agency workflow. Common cold calling mistakes and how to fix them fast. The biggest mistake is leading with your company instead of the prospect's problem. If your first value statement is a feature list, you force the buyer to do mental translation work they didn't ask for, so they end the call. Replace feature talk with outcomes and a role-specific pain. Teams like yours use us to reduce ramp time or to increase qualified meetings without adding headcount. The second mistake is asking for a meeting before you've earned the right. A low-friction close works only after you've created relevance with one clean discovery question and a short proof point. If you're getting "just send me an email," treat it as feedback. Your opening didn't land or your ask came too early. So reset with a quick prioritization question instead of arguing. The third mistake is treating objection handling like combat. The goal is to acknowledge, re-anchor to value, and ask a question that keeps the prospect engaged. Coaching helps here. Consistent practice is one reason some teams move from the 2 to 3% band into 7 to 9% plus conversion territory when training and talk tracks improve. Instrument your process, what to track, and how to improve scripts weekly. If you can't measure which script version produced the meeting, you're stuck guessing. Add lightweight fields in your CRM or call disposition flow for persona, script template 1 to 10, the primary objection, and the outcome. Then review performance weekly so you can double down on openers and questions that actually create meetings, not just good conversations. Don't overcomplicate A/B testing. Start with the first 15 seconds. 1 week, test 2 permission-based openers across a single persona. The next week, test 1 discovery question. Then test 1 close. This creates a practical coaching loop where SDRs can focus on one improvement at a time, which is exactly how high-performing SDR agencies build consistency across a team. Use the KPI set below as your operating dashboard. The goal is not to obsess over every metric, it's to link activity to outcomes, identify where the funnel breaks, and fix the script component that corresponds to the break: opener, relevance, discovery, or close. When to build in-house versus partner with a cold calling agency. Building an internal SDR motion can be the right move if you have strong enablement, consistent coaching capacity, and clean data. But many teams hit a familiar wall. Scripts aren't improving, reps are inconsistent, and leaders are spending cycles managing activity instead of driving revenue strategy. That's usually when exploring sales outsourcing or an outsourced sales team starts to make practical sense. At SalesHive, we've seen that what companies really want isn't more dials, it's predictable meetings. Since 2016, we've booked over 117,000 meetings for more than 1,500 B2B companies by combining tight targeting, battle-tested talk tracks, and ongoing optimization. For teams evaluating cold calling companies, the key question is whether the partner can show a real process for script iteration, QA, and performance reporting, not just staffing. Your next step is straightforward. Pick 3 personas, choose 3 templates from the table, run a 2-week sprint with tracked script versions, and workshop call recordings weekly. If results don't move, don't assume cold calling doesn't work. Assume the system needs upgrading. Whether you do it internally or with a sales development agency, the organizations that win are the ones that iterate ruthlessly and treat scripting like an operating discipline.